Don't wait for the mercy of death for your impact to be felt. Don't wait for the mercy of death for your impact to be felt. I say this to say that you should never wait for your impact to be felt after you die. While you're living, you have the decision, you have the choice each and every day to wake up and implement your impact, to express yourself and allow yourself to be experienced by others. Don't remove yourself and ultimately strip the world of the opportunity to be able to experience you, for you to be able to express yourself, for you to be able to do what you want within your life. Don't wait to be bailed out by death for you to make an impact on this world, when each and every day that you are living, each and every day that you are existing, you have the chance, you have the opportunity, and you have the will to ultimately just establish yourself, to put yourself out there, to shine your light and awaken yourself within others so that it can ignite something within other people. When you are yourself relentlessly, when you are yourself unconditionally, when you truly love yourself, it's going to come naturally. Everything that you want is going to naturally attract to you because you are operating in the pure frequency of who you are. You are being yourself, so it has no choice but to come to you because you are not forsaking yourself for someone else. You are not putting on a mask to try and make up an illusion for the version of yourself that you want to be. You're just coming as your authentic self, your vulnerable self. And this is your superpower. You gotta understand that being vulnerable is the biggest strength within this world because it puts you at a state where you can be hurt. But ultimately, it puts you in a state where you can experience the good and the bad. You know, experience the duality, if you want to call it duality, when it's really just an experience that's causing you to remember the true essence of who you are, that's causing you to establish yourself and return back to source, return back to who you were before you embarked on this journey of earth. So don't wait for the mercy of death for your impact to be felt, because I feel like we think that if we don't do it while we're young, if we don't do it and just implement ourselves and express ourselves while we're young, we'll never be able to do this, when age is nothing but a construct that was created to ultimately keep you in a cycle of fear, to keep you in a paradigm of survival, to keep you in a state of where you feel like you need to be safe within every option that you take, so that you never take risks, so that you never break out and live the life that is truly for you. I feel like once we have adapted this mindset within ourselves through school systems and ultimately through limiting beliefs, it takes on true characteristics within our life. You know, we start to do more things that are more to the side of fear-based actions. You feel me? Yeah, you start taking on more fear-based actions. You start doing things and you're not using the compass of your own heart. You're not using the compass of your intuition, because your intuition ultimately defies all logic. Your intuition is the all knowing, because the intuition is your connection back to source, because source is you. You have never been separate from your intuition, and your intuition and source is nothing outside of yourself. It's just the wholeness and the completeness of yourself. And once you can just anchor your intuition and leave it to be a clear space for you to have clear contact and a clear connect with your intuition, it creates a divine system within your life where you're able to anchor in whatever you want within your life, where you're able to implement yourself into this world. You got to stop being scared to shine your light, and do it if you're scared. You know, do it while you're scared, because ultimately, even if you're scared to do it, you still got to do it anyways. You know, there's a part of you that wants to achieve all of these things. There's a part of you that has already experienced everything, and it just wants you to experience things that are truly for your soul, everything that is for you. You know, I feel like sometimes we can let our fear stop us from living the life that is truly for us, when life was meant to be lived through all emotions, you know, through all emotional standpoints, from fear, from being joyful, from being in bliss, from being scared and just being afraid. It was meant to be lived in all of those emotions, but to rise above these emotions and ultimately transcend these physical limitations of these emotions. To not be transpired into these emotions and not to dwell in these emotions, but to ultimately look at it from an observation perspective. You know, to be an observer within your own life. Yes, you are making the actions, but you are not necessarily this body. You are the one controlling this body. You are the observer. You are the all-knowing. So you're just making decisions through this body, through your higher self, through who you came here to be. And life is what you make it. If you keep resisting the life that is truly for you and you keep shrinking yourself down to size, you will only live a limited life. You will live a life that feels like you are being depleted each and every second of your day because you're not stepping into the wholeness of yourself. And I feel like people say that we have to be humble sometimes, but I feel like when we are too humble, we ultimately end up shrinking ourselves because we diminish our own value. We diminish the entire complete essence of who we are. We diminish the wholeness of who we are, the beautifulness of who we are, and the divinity of who we are. When we have every right to claim exactly who we are, we don't necessarily need to put a title on ourselves, but we just need to exist as we are, to just exist and be ourselves, not to be anyone else, but just to live as ourselves, to be free. And real freedom is just expressing yourself authentically, where you don't have to care about the opinions of everyone else about being perceived, because your perception of yourself ultimately creates the perceptions of everyone else. You gotta understand that the way that you feel about yourself will ultimately create a mirror for how others think of you. And this is why your self-perception and your internal world is so much more important. Because once you get your internal world down packed, when you really just connect with yourself on the deepest level and you go within, and I feel like people say go within, but they don't necessarily say how to go within, when it's really just staying with yourself through the hard times, sticking with yourself through the rough moments, the late moments at night where you're just by yourself and you have to sit with your thoughts, where you have to go back into your memories, your nostalgia, and your traumatic events, your childhood, and everything that has transpired within your life. You have to sit with that and you have to just cultivate and renew yourself. You have to go through a rebirth process where you might need to shed some tears, and these tears are meaningful. These tears are beautiful, and these tears are absolutely needed within this journey. These tears are for you to release all of these pains, the sufferings from these past events, and to just allow to you to be fluid with life. Allow you to be in touch with your emotions. Allow you to connect with your feminine side, to be able to connect with all energies of yourself, to be you. You can't neglect one side of yourself. You can't just be all masculine, or you can't just be all feminine within life. You have to balance your energies. And once you create a balance within your life, that's how you create heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is nothing materialistic. It's about heaven within yourself. Because once you have true heaven, it's the ultimately it's the divinity of yourself. When you recognize and remember who you came here to be, who you are, the wholeness of you are, and you're not looking for anyone to complete yourself, because you just are. You just are who you are. You don't need to explain yourself. You just need to be. You just need to be yourself, and that's exactly what we came here to do. So you should never stop shining your light. Stop shrinking yourself down to size, because you waiting on someone else to make an impact for you is not making an impact on your life. Once you make that inevitable impact within yourself, you are able to create a divine retribution act within your life, where you are able to claim everything that is for you. You are able to dive into everything and dive and ascend into the life that is truly for you, to ascend past all limitations that you have placed within your life and break generational traumas, to be exactly who you came here to be. You didn't come here to be like another person. So you shrinking yourself down to size is not doing anything but belittling yourself, because you are beautiful. And if you keep just diminishing your own beauty, you will never see yourself for who you are. Other people can see your light, but if you're not seeing your light for yourself, who are you? You are the absence of yourself. You are the void of yourself, because you're not recognizing who you are in this form of existence. And not to say that you are just this physical flesh, but no, you are everything, and everything is you. You are the void, you are the manifestation, you are the creation, and you are the blessing. You got to understand that it's not about you getting a blessing from someone else. It's not about you getting a transformation within your life to just allow you to attract things that you want. It's about you understanding that you already are this blessing. You already are this transformation, and everything is for you. Everything is for you because you have generated it within yourself. And once you have generated within yourself, it has no choice but to show up within this external world. And although there is a delay in what we want within our manifestations, it's only because everything is being aligned to truly happen and being orchestrated for us to happen in the most divine way. You have to allow the universe to make space for you, because you already take up space. But if you have never realized that you have taken up space, you are just absent of the spot that you have place within the party. You gotta understand that it's like a party. You know, you have reserved a spot for yourself, but you have forgotten about your reserved spot. And no one else is gonna take your reserved spot because it's designed specifically for you. But unless you claim it for yourself, it's just going to be there. It's just going to be an absent seat. But once you truly claim yourself to power, once you truly dive into who you are and just remember who you are, you will be able to rise in power. You know, you are not waiting for an external change within your life. Understand that you are the internal change, and you will always be everything that you ever need. You are everything that you seek, and you are everything that you will ever become because you just are. There is no disconnect between any version of you because there is no separation. You are every form of yourself within the now simultaneously. And once you will recognize that, you will understand the power that you really hold because your power is eternal. Your power is infinite. You are not bound by any physical limitations within your life because you are not the physical. You are much more than this body that you play in, because ultimately life is a game. And once you recognize that life is a game, you will be able to just have joy with it. You will be able to find peace within every moment of life because you have already coded this game. You have coded this game and you had cheat codes within yourself. You know, you are able to break out of this game, and not really break out of this game, but control it from an observation point because you have already seen how everything plays out. But if you keep doubting yourself, if you keep doubting those dreams that you have in your mind, you will never be able to implement it. You know, stop waiting for your life to be handed for you and just claim it for yourself because this is your life to live. You got to shine your light. And I keep saying this because you are a diamond. But right now you are in the rough because you have covered yourself. You have covered yourself with dirt because you have taken on so much people's ideas and their limiting beliefs that you have covered yourself in dirt, and now you can't even see your own light. But your light was always shining. And even if you can't see it, it's still magnetizing the things that are truly for you. But it's time for you to just recognize the beauty within yourself because you are a diamond, you are a star, and you came here to be experienced by others. Don't block us off from experiencing you because you are very unique. You got to understand that you are one of one. You are truly special. And it's just a blessing to be able to experience you. So allow us to experience you. Allow us to see your skills. Allow us to see your talents and just be. You know, we don't need another version of someone else. We need you to be you. We didn't come here for two people to be the same. We came here for everyone to be different so we can see a uniqueness within everyone, to see how diverse we really are, to see the beauty within all aspects of our life. You know, beauty and love isn't just guaranteed in one spot of our life, is guaranteed in all aspects of our life. And once you are able to recognize that, you will understand that there's beauty and love within all, within the struggle, within the hate, within the hard times, even in the suffering. There's beauty within this all. So don't wait on death and to be your mercy for you to make an impact within this world, because your impact should be made while you are living. Your impact should be made with every decision that you are making on a day-to-day basis, because you are so much more than you can even think of. Stop limiting yourself to a limited mindset. Understand that everything is already for you, and everything just happens for you in the highest way because you are you. You are special, and you got to value yourself. So understand that this is your life to live, and you came here to shine your light. So just shine your light relentlessly and just be you. Just be you. And I keep saying this because I really mean it within my soul. Just be yourself. And if this video found you, it was really for you, because now is the time for you to just establish yourself, put yourself out there, and love yourself. Don't try to neglect yourself. Don't neglect any aspect of yourself, because we need you. We need all aspects of yourself. We need you in your joyous form, in your sad form, in all emotional states of yourself. Understanding that you are whole, you are complete. So just understand that we need you, we value you, and peace.